Good afternoon, Muskegon.
Good afternoon.
This is Tony Williams.
And Chauncey Williams. And we are What Do I Do Now? Your guide to credit, debt, and planning for your financial success.
That's, we have a very catchy phrase for our show, but sometimes we have to move to the right a little bit about what's going on. And you can't talk about the financial credit debt world all the time. So
that's right.
We
are human beings, not Tony.
Yeah.
We think money is a good thing to have, but they also say money is the root of all evil too.
Okay.
So, but it's evil if you don't got it too now.
Oh yeah, you can be evil too if you don't have
it. So I understand that concept, but like you said, it's good to let our hair down, let people know that we are normal people, and just it's other things going on. I've been enjoying the NBA playoffs.
Oh my goodness!
And somebody asked me, "How you watching the game? You don't got cable, Chauncey?" I was like, "I'm streaming.
You can stream it.
I can watch a whole game.
Yeah.
After the game, and I'm a coach, so I'm watching the whole game after the game, and I'm pausing. Okay. I'm looking at replay. I can tell you this stat. I know this. Kyle Lowry need to be on the bench.
Okay.
He like 8 for 50, and his jumper been broke the last 8 games, and they keep on starting him.
He needs to be in the gym all night long.
Yep.
Not hanging out at the club.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that series, I mean, if he's playing like he's supposed to play during the season, everything will be all good.
Yeah.
But I remember, I think it was Shaq talking about this. Shaq said he noticed that with guys he played over his career. He's like, when the regular season, my man gonna get 20.
Mm-hmm.
But he said when the playoffs come, it seems like the changing environment and the pressure get to them.
Yeah.
And they said like their numbers drop. He said certain guys, their numbers will just drop and they'll disappear.
Mm-hmm.
He said it was like this. I played on guys for the Lakers like that in Orlando Magic. It was guys that, like he averaged 19, say he getting 3.
It's a different environment. That pressure is tough, man.
It's a different environment.
And I think that was the difference between that Cleveland and Detroit series.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There was some hoopers. Detroit got
okay.
them. I'm going to say this. Everybody will think, that's kind of weird you said it. Detroit had a better team. On paper.
You're not going to argue. I'm not going to argue with you.
Because I'm a Detroit fan, too. But Detroit had a better team on paper because they had somebody to check LeBron. Then they had a post player that nobody on Cleveland could check.
Nope.
My man Drummond was sitting on the rim.
Couldn't stop him.
It was like elementary school post up. Nobody could stop him.
No. Mm-mm. The big fella couldn't handle him. He was too strong and too fast.
He was too strong and too fast. He could jump over him. Then the guards was good. Caldwell Pope could stroke it.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, making everything he touched.
They didn't have an answer for Reggie Jackson.
Nope, they didn't have an answer for Reggie Jackson either.
He was too fast for anybody on that team as far as guard play.
Then Morrison.
Okay.
The twin boy, they had a beast team.
Yeah, they picked him up right towards the end of the season, and he stepped in and contributed. Yeah, man.
He's like a Rasheed Wallace. Again, that's why I see him as. He's like, because he that's where he ended up in Detroit, because he ended up swinging on one of his teammates.
Right.
But no, the guy wasn't playing hard enough. So he's like, hey, you gonna play hard enough when you're on the floor with me. Man. I appreciate work ethic like that.
You won't stick around in this league if you don't play long, because the guy that did you see the guy from Atlanta that they had snapshot sleep on the bench?
Oh yeah,
last night.
Sleep on. Where he gone, ain't he?
Oh, hey, if they could find somebody today to take his spot, he would be gone.
And then that's a bad game. He fell asleep in the game. Look,
yeah,
on
the bench.
He's like, I ain't getting in. Let me just lay down and get this check.
Yeah, you can't do that, man.
Who is that?
Oh wow. Oh man, I can't recall this guy's name.
Yeah, once upon a time, he was a good player.
Yeah,
yeah.
He was a starter. And the display that those Cavaliers put on him, I don't know how you could have went to sleep. I mean, that was a sight to behold. These guys coming down jacking threes, and they had the nerve at the end of the game talking about they weren't professional.
Man, look, if my jumper stroking like that day. And then this how we look at it. Like, think about it, like we played in games, we blow people out. When you start shooting threes, that's like you giving the team the benefit of the doubt. It's like we just shoot.
It's a lower percentage shot.
It's a lower percent, and it's far from the rim.
Right.
So they keep on shooting threes, but they making them.
Right. So if they were slamming, if they were doing slam dunks, they'd have been complaining too.
Yeah, they would have.
Right.
They would have been. Barkley said.
Yeah.
Barkley said, "Hey, send the goons out."
Right.
He said, "Call John Chaney."
Yeah.
Basically call John Chaney to get the goons.
Yeah, because they coming after him now. Atlanta gonna send some goons after Cavaliers.
I seen one like J.R. Smith when he hitting.
He in the zone.
Now he catch it, he caught it and he did like a pump fake, and then the Kyle Lowry, well not the Kyle Lowry, but the other guy that's supposed to be a 3-point specialist for Atlanta.
No, they wasn't out there last
Yeah.
night.
Look, then they was breaking the game down. It was like they showed him. He looked like the guy that played with Bernie Mark in the show. I can't remember his name, but they call him that. But the way he run off screens like he don't want the ball.
No.
Like, he a 3-point shooter, but he run off the screen with no contact. Like if he don't get the ball, he be waiting on the perimeter. I was like, he don't even want to be there.
Nope. Alligator arms.
Yep, he don't even want to be there. Then you were looking at we got D Wade killing Atlanta, Toronto, and then the other point guard Jarrett. He's good. That was a great pickup. Then who else we got left?
Well, Portland.
Oh, Portland. They looking good. But
Yeah.
they in the hole against the best team in the NBA. They not
They're
gonna come
just
out.
young.
Yeah, they gonna
They're
get.
just young.
They might get one or they might get
They
broke.
might.
They might
get one.
one. Cause that's if they was going against. No, I can't put them against San Antonio.
No. No, but KC.
If they going against KC, they probably get some games.
Yeah.
Yep. Because KC don't got all their pieces.
No. Mm-mm.
Then you see that game with them the other day with Deion Waiters. You know who he remind me of? Vernon Maxwell.
Oh, Vernon?
He do stuff out of character. Like he had the ball, he elbowed him, then he stepped on the line, then he jumped in the air and passed the ball while he was out of bounds.
Right. But you know what? I'm looking at that too. My question
It
is,
was all turnovers.
you got to give him some room.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah,
So if the
exactly.
referee didn't create the space, he created his own space, so there was a no call.
No call.
And they crying about it, but I agree 100% with a no call.
Yeah, you're right. He was up on it. Then all the Spurs players was grabbing every KC player. It was
Right.
Like, no.
They was holding it.
Ran
And
out
they
of
had a
bounds.
shot to win, too.
Sure did.
They had
Yes,
a shot.
Did. Yes,
So,
they did.
you know, these guys that's crying in the NBA, and you just got to play. You got to play through it. You know?
Exactly.
So, but, yeah, that Cavs game last night was amazing to
They broke an NBA record for 3-pointers.
yeah,
They had 20 in the first half.
in the first half.
And one player had 6 in the first half. LeBron stroke looked good too.
Yeah, they backed off him. He said, well, if you're going to give it to me, I'll jack it up for you. So I think that was a message to the rest of the league that, yeah.
But see, that's what's the scary thing is because remember last year Kyrie Irving didn't play.
No, he was hurt.
And-
Love was hurt.
And Kyrie Irving, that first game, him and Curry was like, I'm just as good as you.
Mm-hmm.
And now he here.
Yeah.
And he at full strength.
And that bench plays
It's
a
ready.
lot better than it was last year.
So it's
it's getting exciting.
I'm looking at Cleveland like after the Pistons, after they beat the Pistons, you know, after you beat the Pistons, you should be the champs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sound biased, but hey, that's just our view on it. But you know,
Yeah.
it's been pretty good, man. It's been fun. It's been
I
something. to
enjoyed it.
break up the monotony in your day when you come home from work or something. You can see some stuff that's funny. You know, see some things.
Yeah, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
You know, we grind every day and, you know, we crunch numbers, deal with people, and sometimes in the evening, you know, to have that kind of an outlet is great.
Yes, it is.
You know, it's great. So yeah, we've enjoyed the NBA playoffs to this point.
We had some other playoffs. We had them voting playoffs.
Oh,
Like,
right. Yeah, we did.
I can say it now. The Strong Communities Sync Fund Initiative played off in the right way.
Yes, we did. It
Yes,
came
sir.
out as a winner.
Yeah, I take that. Champion. Play that song. We are the champions. Play that because I appreciate that. Working in education, being able to see things. I was talking to an administrator the other day. He said, I go from building to building, but he say, I don't really pay attention. But when they put this up, the Sync Fund,
Mm-hmm.
he said, I started looking at the buildings in a different way and looking at other places I was going. I was like, hold on,
We're in dire need.
Yes, we are in need.
Yeah, we got some serious structural problems in our school system, no doubt about it.
And
Johnson.
this I'm gonna hit on this for us right here, Tony. Like the Watch Muskegon Go, I'm not knocking their initiative or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're gonna watch Muskegon Go, why can't the school go?
Well, I thought
That's to be the first thing you get behind. Because when I look, like we're still looking to purchase property to live in right now. You know, we looking for somewhere to live, and I'm like, I want to be close to the school,
Right.
or I want to be close to the lake. So like a lot of times when people buy property, they like either I want to be in the school zone, right? Because you know
Yeah.
the property value, or I want to have residential area close to access to water.
Yep.
That's if you can get a great deal on one of those areas, you could live in those homes for a long time.
And they're gonna maintain their value.
You're gonna maintain your value. So I'm like, why wouldn't Watch Muskegon be behind
This initiative.
this initiative? Like I'm looking at the flyer, it just got Muskegon Public Schools on it, and like Watch Muskegon is really helping out with a lot of
Tourists.
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 Yeah, so it's
Okay.
for tourism. They're not really about
Yeah.
the inner side of the inner community.
That's not their charge. They don't look at it that way. But
Okay. But then
They-
when you look at beautifying a city and tourism, you would think the school, like when people come visit from out of town, that's one place you ride through. Because you might think like, I like vacation here. Let me see how this school look at this area. You know, so it's just, I would think it would be more support coming from a different group
because
organization.
ultimately, if the attraction to move here is a school system along with affordable housing, you need to have
Access to water and beaches.
access to water and beaches, and you need to have a capable school district, a capable school system to provide your children with the necessary needs of education.
Technology, resources,
Right.
toolkit for success.
So the city council did have a proposal to support this, as well as the Muskegon Chronicle.
Yep, I saw that. They was with it. They was all on board. So I saw that.
Yeah. So that was good.
County commissioner, right? Also, right? Yep. So
Oh, yeah.
So the important key players played their role.
Yeah,
but I
they
was
did.
just looking at people that's trying to brand, or organizations that's trying to brand a movement. Definitely, this was a movement they could have definitely jumped on.
Put their stamp on.
They could have been like, we helped push this through.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
it's just a ball that was dropped, or it was probably a conflict of interest for them because it's probably some
You're right.
other things that they weighing in, like you said, tourism. So when you look at tourism, that's, I would say, capitalism in a way where it's a group trying to come and capitalize and make some funds out of certain areas.
Right. And
So-
and there may be some political undertones of people that were involved
That
with
can't
it
get to that
that
level.
were the no voters.
Yeah.
There was a segment of no voters.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it could say, well, you know what, as a leader or vocal person of the no voters, we don't think it's right that look at Muskegon Go, get involved with that
You're exactly
initiative.
right. Yeah, so it's a lot of cars that we looking at and we can't really call on it.
Right.
But just looking at it from like our show is a financial show.
Okay.
So like if I'm looking to build a community, I'm looking at the school system first. And because plus when you look at our city is a harbor. So it's always set up where the school is like in the center of always of the cities. Like you look down here, our city's close to the water. Our high school, like easy access to the water.
Yes, it is.
And then you got one street that runs straight all the way down where they used to run the lumber when it came in, right?
Right.
So
Lumber Town.
Yeah, they
Yes,
go right past the high school. So it's like when you look at that, that's the access. So you're like, well, if tourism gonna come, and it's gonna come down Peck, because you're gonna want to get to the lakefront when you jump off the highway, because you got the 131 where they're gonna probably try to restructure it where they don't have to go. It could be a road that come through that probably will rise over. Like I've seen other cities like Toledo where they have those bypasses where you don't see none of the urban core.
Right.
So I'm waiting on for that to come, probably down Sherman or something, you know. But
Yeah.
I'm looking at things like that where it is a possibility that that might happen. But you're gonna have to bypass the Muskegon High School, no matter what, because it's old downtown. It's got them old colonial homes. You know, they have that old district, kind of like old
Historical,
Detroit, right?
yeah.
Historical type of area where the real estate is worth a lot because if you rehab those homes, the value is there, and
Oh, yeah.
you get that historical value. So I look at that like, well, it could be a ball that was dropped, but it was like you said, it's a lot of implications that go on in about politics and other things like that that make you think like, okay, I see how they couldn't cross that line. So I'm respecting them in the same capacity.
Stay neutral.
Yeah,
You
they
stay
stay
neutral.
neutral. They stay
You know?
neutral. But I know they want to make sure that that area around that school is either grabbed up and beautified also. I know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because there was another issue on the ballot. Wasn't on the ballot. There was some conversation about what the funds would be used for from the sinking fund was like that St. Jean's Church. There's a for sale sign on it, which is right there by Wilson Field, which they practice on.
Yep.
And so there a lot of no voters use that to say, you know, here we go again, spending money on athletics. Why do we need to spend this on technology, get computers, and you know, they're absolutely correct, okay? But that's not a part of the plan. It's to purchase that property. So those is being talked about moving that to the historical district, though, the parsonage. The church won't. Church is going to get tore down. But the Catholic Church owns it. They have to put it up for sale. And I think at some point in time, they will actually just donate that land to Muskegon Public School Systems. So there's no need to use that. You know, so the other thing that we were concerned about last week was, you know, the amount of folks that would get out and vote. Okay. Anytime you have an election that's not held in November, you struggle to get people engaged and motivated to go out and vote. And early indications from the polling places was very low voter turnout.
So, but you're saying like our numbers out. So I I've heard, like I've seen, like what it was, 1,400 total that made the winning vote, and it was like to 1,000, or it was like
Right. There's 1,000, roughly 1,000
compared to
no
1,400.
votes
Yes.
to 1,400 yes votes.
So you got that. I look at the sheet. You got a sheet right there with the breakdown on it.
Yeah, because I'm always interested in understanding where the people in certain areas, how do they think? What is their voting patterns?
So it's different neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, broke down by precinct. We have like 14 precincts in the city of Muskegon, and each one is gauged individually as far as how many votes were cast. The area that cast the most votes was the voting place at the Great Lakes Museum down on Bluff Street.
Okay.
The old Bluffton neighborhood. And a total of 374 people voted at that precinct.
That's the largest precinct.
Which, I think there's probably more people
That could
in
vote.
certain precincts, but for whatever reason, those folks were motivated to vote. Okay? And they carried a yes vote of 210 to 164.
And that was Bluffton neighborhood?
It was Bluffton.
Wow, okay.
Okay.
That's kudos to them. Because, in the past I've heard things
Yeah.
that they weren't supporting, stuff like that.
Well, the one that did not support was the Bunker School community on Denmark. It was 128 no votes to 97 yes votes.
Okay.
McGrath Park, there was 184 yes votes, 137 no votes. And then the other part of Glenside is the Glenside School. 129 yes votes and 75 no. The area that had the largest margin of victory was somewhat surprising to me, which was the Moon School area. They had 130 folks that voted, and 108 voted yes, and 22 voted no. So it tells me that the folks in the Moon School area understood the importance of passing this initiative. Some of the other precincts were a little bit closer, Marquette. Now, that surprised me. The Marquette area had 62 yes votes, 64 no votes. So the Marquette area, by 2 votes, basically turned down the initiative. But to break these down is quite interesting, because we do have some other elections coming up that are city motivated, and it'll be interesting to have this kind of information, because you'll know who the ones that do vote, and you want to definitely make sure that they vote, and the ones that vote sparingly, you want to make sure that they also vote as well. So very interesting, but we got it. The sinking fund will take effect in January of 2017. The first check will be deposited for the Muskegon Public School Systems, and it'll be roughly $500,000. And the work begins now, where you got to prioritize that work that's going to get done first, but this is going to take place over 10 years. So the Board of Education and the staff at the administration office is working to develop that list of where this work is going to start first. So again, hats off to those that supported the sinking fund effort, because there's other communities had them too that didn't pass. So, but again, I applaud the residents of Muskegon. And Muskegon Heights also had an election for an open council seat, which I thought was quite interesting. It's a pretty close race. Andre Williams won that one over William Muhammad.
Yep, congratulations.
I think it was 7 votes was the separation of those, Chauncey?
That's a small family.
Yes.
Here goes the numbers right here.
Okay, what we got?
Council member, City of Muskegon Heights, 4th precincts report. You got William C. Muhammad with 161, Willie Watson with 130, and you had Andre Williams, L. Williams Jr., 168. So
Close race.
That's a small family. Well, no, that's amazing. So I want to commend the brother for winning, because it's always it's a blessing, and welcome to the world of politics.
Right. Yeah, he's a young man.
Yep.
Probably his real first taste of leadership in the city, and they have a number of issues that they need to address, okay? Because I think they still have no city manager,
Right.
no permanent police chief. So
That's been lingering for like a year for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, the search is going on, but I think they said they regrouped and going to take a step back and look at some other options for them.
yeah,
But
I
I'm
think
pretty sure.
Yeah. I don't want to speak on nobody though, but I think the manager was going to hire. It was some things that everybody didn't support it. Some voted and some it wasn't unanimous. I remember reading in the past. I don't want to misquote anything, but I know they was leaning towards a guy out of Flint, out of Detroit area, like Ypsilanti or something. And he was getting ready to be their next manager or something. So they didn't go on that. So he might still be in the wing. So
Okay.
somebody can call in, but
Yeah, give us the correct information on that one. But the old city managers, I don't know if she's got a job yet or not. You know, she was
in Flint.
She was in Flint.
But she was paid. They paid her.
Oh, they did pay her?
They had to pay her.
Okay.
So,
well, at the end of the day, that's the name of the game is to get paid,
Yeah,
right?
but that's and it just hurts that when you look at it, like look at that all those things like that. That's when the politics come into play. You know, and it wasn't bad on her behalf. It was just she walked into a situation that was set up from day one. It was a setup.
It was.
I mean, we could talk about it now. It was a setup from day one. Whoever walked in the administration, it was somebody at the top handing down orders.
Right.
And even if you knew this was wrong, you was like, you do it this way because we doing it like this. And it started with the Treasury trying to save money on the water.
Yeah.
But then I remember seeing a special about Michael Moore. He talked about the water was so good that it came from an iceberg, a glacier. It came from a glacier. Good water. It came from like Port Huron or something.
Well, they were part of Detroit's. Detroit's water system, which comes out of Lake Huron.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Was serving the Flint Department, Flint Water Department. Okay, and it was like you said, it was a financial decision, is to shut Detroit off, and open back up the Flint water filtration system through the Flint River. But they didn't do the due diligence of the testing. Because there were some treatments that they bypassed.
Just cut it on.
Just turned it on. And this went on for a number of years, man.
2 years.
Was it 2 years? I mean, I've even seen samples of the water. And it's just hard for me to believe that folks would turn their faucet on and look to see the kind of, material that came out of that faucet and would either bathe, drink, or cook with it.
I'm going to share something with you right now. And I know MLive is running a special. And thanks MLive for that. There was a woman on there. It's called The 100 Faces of Flint. I don't know if you've seen it.
I did see the caption. I never read it though.
I've been reading those, and one lady said, I just thought it was like well water down south or something.
Oh,
so you know how well water is.
Oh yeah,
I like well
the
water.
mineral.
Yeah.
They got the mineral taste to it. Yeah,
I like that water when it's real cold out the jar.
Yeah,
you know now that water good. So I know what she was talking about. She says cut the water on, and we used to let it run.
Mm-hmm.
Let it run so long. You boil it, and that water had that little taste in it, but you could drink that. That was because it come from the well.
Right. Yeah. There was no filtration system. It came straight out of the ground.
But then she probably thinking like, I just cut it on, do like I was down south. It's brown right now for a minute and let it run. And I let it run till they got clear. Then I used it. Not knowing that it had other things, not mineral, and it had toxins in it.
Yeah. Yeah. The lead, which you never get that out of your system.
Yeah, that's another political issue that we're talking about here. Like, who we put in charge can really affect the decisions of people's lives. That's why we're talking about this today, audience. Is what do I do now for real?
Yeah.
Like, if you're not voting, and we got a big election coming up with
in November
Trump and Hillary, I'm like,
the Republicans and the Democrats.
What are you gonna do?
You cannot vote. You must vote.
You must vote.
Not voting is not an option.
And people was like, when it was some years back, I remember Sean John or whatever they call his name, Puff Daddy or whatever.
Puff Daddy, okay.
He made these T-shirts that they said "Vote or Die."
Right, I remember those.
It's for real.
It's for real.
Look at the Flint situation.
It's for real.
It's really vote or die. Like who can we put in place in all our municipalities when you look at locally? That's what and people don't realize. I'm voting for the president. That's an extremity that's too far away from you that can affect you immediately. You have to vote on the small little issues, the micro issues that you think like, oh, that's nothing. That's nothing. Imagine if the sinking fund didn't pass.
We'd have to try it again.
Yeah, but look at the effects of financially what it can do to a district that's performing well with less.
Okay.
And now it's an opportunity to have more to upgrade your facilities and do some things technology wise to make sure the kids get a better education. Now that's gonna give you not when I say an advantage, but you're gonna be on a competitive playing
There
field
you
now,
go.
not only in sports but academics.
Right.
With your facilities, you're
Right.
like, oh, we got that too.
Yeah.
We got that also.
We want our kids to definitely excel academically.
And that goes into the financial of what each child is worth too.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh yeah, that's how the money's appropriated from the state.
Yeah.
Is we get each dollar, and we don't want our kids leaving the district because it is deteriorating and falling apart. We want to maintain those kids in this district so we can continue to get whatever dollars are available. Okay, but you're absolutely right. I mean, when we look at the voting that took place this week, Muskegon Heights, we can do better.
I can do better.
We can do better. I mean, you know, on a Friday night at Hackley Stadium, it's 5,000 people. Not to say that they're all, you know, Muskegon residents or voters, but I would venture to say that there's a large percentage of them that are.
And some people, what they do, will call their tickets. Like, you know how you can vote absentee ballot.
Yeah.
They will
Yeah.
call their ticket. Like, I'm gonna go get my tickets early, or you know, I have them reserved for me. I'll call up to somewhere, have them set aside. They do that.
Mhm.
So like, you could do that for your vote.
Yeah.
Absentee ballots.
Oh, yeah,
or
we do
whatever.
absentee ballots. And, you know, another thing is that I really wish there would be some kind of voting reform to say that, you know, have it a weekend, right? You know, let's vote over the course of a weekend even maybe versus having that one day. Okay, but unfortunately, it is what it is. But we got to talk to, you know, to folks about the importance of voting and not wait till November.
I think for people, this is what people look at. I mean, this is the bottom line. They think that they vote don't count, and they think it don't affect them.
Mhm.
That's why I'm gonna tell you, Tony. That's the bottom line. They just look at it like, I'm okay if I don't vote,
No.
as long as I'm going to work, as long as I'm making money. Listen, they change things like taxes. They change things like your wages. They affect unions. They affect a lot of things. When whoever you put in office, they shape things.
That's right.
And you got to be like, you got to be looking at your pocketbook and your beliefs now.
Okay.
They'll try to shift your belief system on you.
That's another story for another day. But
Yes,
I
I know.
think we're on the same page.
Yes,
okay,
we are on the same
know
page.
what we talking about here.
Yeah, I was you know, I love the spiritual thing, but I just remembered someone saying that they were talking and say when television first came out, and when you look at people's belief system, it's like don't watch TV, it's not good for you, right? Then they say okay, then sooner or later TV caught on, everybody started watching it. Then they say okay, when radio came along, don't listen to that, it's too much negativity or it's whatever. Then they stopped watching it. Then everybody else got on it first. All the negativity and the wrong thing.
Yeah, propaganda.
Yeah. Then when you look at internet, don't do the internet, it's not good, it's this, it's that, you know, the negative names they try to attach to it. Then when they got on it, it was okay, they approved. So it's like, when you look at things like voting, get on it.
Yeah.
Get on your vote because it's important. It's important.
That it should be a personal issue, okay, with yourself to say that when we look back over time to see when our folks couldn't vote and those that marched and died and had dogs and water hoses poured on them because they wanted the right to step into a voting booth and cast a ballot, okay? It meant something, and it means something today. But unfortunately, we have enough people that's complacent, like you say, they're in their comfort zone, and they don't think that it's going to affect them. But when my kids were growing up, when they got voting age, they knew what the drill was, okay? They voted. They had to vote. They had to show me you voted, because if you didn't, you can't live here, okay? And they vote today. They don't miss an election.
It's a right. It's a right we have.
Yeah.
And then it's just like people need a history lesson, especially women of color.
Women didn't have a right to vote at
You know?
one time.
And minorities.
And minorities. That's right.
So like if you're not exercise your right to vote, that's like, well, you don't file taxes then.
Yeah. Don't file taxes.
Don't expect a tax refund. Don't try to start a business.
Right.
That's what I would say. Like if you don't vote, you don't get this tax
You
benefit.
shouldn't be a part of the commerce of this country,
Man,
because you
that's-
didn't participate in the effort to get it going.
Yep.
You shouldn't be
That's
allowed
how
to
I
make
look at
money.
it. That's how when I vote, I look at it like, oh, I'm paying my taxes. They giving me a benefit where I can start a business and do all these things. I might as well vote.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's my privilege because they giving me a benefit to make money in this country.
That's right.
They taxing my dollar doing this. If I can affect it any way where I can change it in any capacity, it's a help to the better community at all. So,
Yeah, I mean, we just can't say enough about folks getting out and voting, for the simple reason that it's something that folks died for, and we don't take it to heart today, Chauncey. We figured that the other guy make the decision, but I'm not going out like that.
I ain't let the man look. I'm not gonna let the other man have what I want. Like if I let somebody else vote, that means I'm letting somebody else control my destiny.
That's right.
Or like go ahead and vote. Go ahead and vote for me and outsource me out my community, man.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Go ahead and vote. Go ahead and vote no and make sure my school look bad.
Yep.
But even though I want yes and I'm coaching and I'm doing A, B, and C, I'm not gonna advertise to no community. I'm not gonna say anything to nobody. I just let it just happen.
Yeah, you complain because we had to bus your kids to other school districts because we don't have the money to maintain our school district. So you're mad. Well, don't be mad because you had an opportunity to make a difference, and you chose not to vote. Okay, so if you made that decision, then you live whatever consequences come from not being involved.
And that's like come from not voting. When issues change, crime rises.
Okay, yeah, and I looked at this as an opportunity for people to practice. Okay. To get into the habit of voting. This is a simple exercise that only 2,400 people took advantage of. All right, and if those that voted no, okay, so be it. But they voted.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, and people always bring it up. We might need to get John Covington on the polls because he know how to get the beat awards voted. So like let's put him on the vote for the city. Put him on. Make him who's that? I ain't even put nobody out of position. I ain't even mention nobody's name.
Okay.
But whoever control the voting seats and like whoever can count the votes, whoever campaigned for that, call John Covington.
Call John.
Call John. He know how to get people to vote for the beat award. So that's not a translation, but I mean that brother pretty smart.
It's just a fact.
He's our political personality here at the radio station, and he has a lot of knowledge. So I'm just speaking him out because somebody got to drive the community to come and want to cast a ballot.
Yeah, there are going to be other initiatives on the ballot come November, okay? And we as a community need to just get to the mindset that if I'm not a registered voter, I'm not going to let November come and me not be a registered voter. Find out and it's very simple. It's not really hard to do.
Easy process,
but you got to be committed to go make it happen. And don't raise your kids to be non-voters because that's our future. And if we're not raising them to be active and participating in the dream of having the right to vote, then we're doing our kids a disservice.
That's it.
Don't want to preach, but I'm passionate about voting.
That's how it works, man. So I think that's our show today. We just wanted to share with everybody. Just with going to the voting polls, and it is a what do I do now situation. Like if you don't vote, you're gonna be thinking, like, what do I do now when they raise the taxes or they change some initiatives where I can't do certain things no more.
Right, when you have an opportunity.
How this happen? When you do this city ordinance, you can't do that. It's illegal. No, sir, we passed that 2 years ago.
Yeah, now people came out and they voted it in.
Hey, that's against the law. What you doing? Like, what do you mean? I thought I could. Hey, you thought you going to jail for that? It happens.
Oh yeah. As they say, ignorance is no excuse for not knowing the law.
At all.
Nope.
So, I'm Chauncey Williams.
And I'm Tony Williams.
And this is What Do I Do Now, your guide to credit, debt, and planning for your financial success with 103.7 The Beat.